Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some perfumes. So I have 10 new perfumes I have added into my collection that I want to share with you today, and most of them were blind buys with I think the exception of one. Some of them did not work out for me and some of them did. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. I do mostly beauty and perfume on this channel. I sprinkle in special effects looks usually around the Halloween season, so if you're into that kind of content, I would love it if you would subscribe. And to my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. I just appreciate you guys so much. And if you are interested in seeing which blind buys worked out for me and which ones didn't, then just keep on watching. Okay, I posted a video about my top spring perfumes not too long ago, and I did mention this one, but I want to show it real quick because I didn't officially haul it. But this is by room 129. This is by the Taliaferro, I think is how you say it. I'm not 100% sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is a fun perfume. I told you guys in that video that this smells like fruit punch. It absolutely smells like Hawaiian fruit punch. This has cherry, powder, and bubblegum as the notes, but mostly it just smells like Hawaiian fruit punch. I really like it. I think it's a great springtime fragrance. I think it's a lot of fun. It's definitely not anything serious or sophisticated. It's just really sweet, really fun, really playful, very feminine, and I really do like it a lot. I really enjoy it, especially right now. So if you like really fruity, sweet, playful scents, I think you'd really like this. The performance on this one is really good. Lasts all day with a beautiful scent bubble around you. All right, this next one is Love by Sofia Vergara. I have the original Sofia Vergara perfume. I think it's just called Sofia. I absolutely love that fragrance and it performs really well. It's a very affordable fragrance. It performs really well. It's beautiful. I love it. So I was very curious about this one, and I have to say I really love the way that this smells. This is beautiful. This is passion fruit, orange blossom. There's green apple in the opening and mandarin orange, so you get this fruity blast. I really get a lot of the passion fruit in here. My nose seems to pick up passion fruit. Either passion fruit is one of those notes that just really is dominant, or my nose just picks up passion fruit. I'm not sure, but I get a lot of that. Then there's Colombian coffee in here. There's some coffee blossom, magnolia. In the base you have praline, you have some vanilla. My only complaint about this perfume is the performance. I really don't feel like I get the projection that I want or the longevity. I really wish this lasted a little bit longer. I think I got about 3 hours out of this fragrance and that was it. And the whole time I could kind of get wafts of it here and there, but it wasn't projecting like I like my perfumes to project. I don't need all of my perfumes to be just absolute beasts, but I need a little bit more than what this one gives. I was kind of disappointed. So I am gonna test it out some more. I'm gonna overspray it like crazy and wear it some more and see. The good news is this is extremely affordable. This was like 20 something dollars. I don't remember exactly how much I paid, but I think it was like $25. So it's a big bottle for $25, but even $25 for a perfume that you can't smell. I mean, you know, it's just kind of, I just wish it was a better performer. So I am not ready to declutter this one because I feel like it might be a good, easy reach for just like around the house. Like I said, this is beautiful. It smells incredible. It really does. I just wish it lasted longer. This might be a good one for me to wear to bed or just on days that I'm going to be like lounging around the house and not doing anything and I just want to smell pretty and I don't mind like reapplying every few hours. I do wish it lasted longer. All right, this next perfume, I am in love with this bottle. This is by Givenchy and this is Ange Eau Demon Eau de Parfum. Look at this bottle. Look at this bottle. I die over this bottle, you guys. It is gorgeous. I am really big into like contrast or duality type of things. I love how it's like really dark and then it like has this ombre into this really light, and it means angel or demon is the name translated into English. And I have to say that's how I feel about this perfume. I can't tell if it's an angel or a demon. I am so confused over this fragrance, you guys. I have tried it a few times and every time I get a different result. It's so weird because one day I'll wear it and I'm like, I really like it. And then another day I'll wear it and I'm like, I don't know if I like it. It smells very mature to me, but not in an overly vintage way. So the top notes are saffron, thyme, mandarin orange, lily, ylang ylang, and orchid. And I feel like there's a little bit of a contrast, which they're going for. They're going for a contrast, duality, light and dark, angel or demon type of vibe, which I am super drawn to. Just not even in perfumes, but just in like artwork and things like that. I love yin and yang, light and dark types of things. I think it's because my personality is so identified in that. I am very much equal parts lover and fighter, and so I'm very drawn to the duality of artwork and things like that. The base has vanilla, tonka bean, Brazilian rosewood, and oak moss. So there's a bit of sweetness from the vanilla and the tonka bean, but then you've got some woody and some earthiness in here as well from the oak moss. It's kind of this weird combination. It's like it has warmth and coldness to it. I feel like the lily is really strong in here, and so you almost get like a coldness from the lily. I think that's what's making it cold. I'm not 100% sure. But then there's saffron in here that kind of like spices it up a little bit, kind of giving it warmth. It's so weird. They really nailed it with the name Angel or Demon, because I cannot for the life of me figure out how I feel about this fragrance. There are days I like it, and then there are days I don't like it. So I'm gonna test this out some more and get my final thoughts on it and just really nail down my full thoughts on this. I think that this is going to be going on my next tray so that I can wear it more and just really figure out how I feel about it. I would hate to declutter this because I truly love this bottle, but that is a silly reason to keep a perfume. For the bottle, but look at how beautiful it is, you guys. But anyway, I'll keep you posted on how I feel about this fragrance. Up next, I have by NISHANE. This is 100 Silent Ways. I got mine in a decant. I didn't want to purchase that one without smelling it first because it's kind of expensive. It's a niche expensive perfume, so I went ahead and ordered a decant through Royalty Scents of it, and I have to say it is very beautiful. I really do think that this is a gorgeous perfume. I see the hype behind this because it's just a very sweet, white floral, vanilla, kind of powdery, tiny bit fruity. Yeah, it's just a very crowd-pleasing fragrance. There's tuberose, peach, there's mandarin orange in the opening, you've got some white florals in the mid, and then you've got vanilla, sandalwood, and vetiver, so you do have a tiny bit of vetiver in there, but I don't really smell the vetiver. I don't know if I just don't smell vetiver or what, because I can't really smell that very often in my fragrances. But I definitely get, when I wore this, I definitely got like a vanilla, sandalwood, creamy base to this, and I think it's beautiful. I think it would be very difficult to offend someone with this fragrance, but I can see what some people are saying when they compare it to Black Opium. So when I first sprayed this, my first immediate thought was Black Opium, and I was like, am I crazy? So I went to Fragrantica and I looked, and a lot of people are getting Black Opium. Some people aren't. There were a couple comments on there where people were like, what are you talking about? This doesn't smell anything like Black Opium. And I think it just depends on your nose and what it picks up. Black Opium has coffee in it, and so they're not the same. I mean, they're different. They have their differences, but I can see why this fragrance reminds people of Black Opium. For me, Black Opium was very sweet in the beginning. It had like a little bit of coffee, and then when it dried down, it was white florals. Now, I love Black Opium. I think Black Opium smells amazing. The only reason why I decluttered Black Opium is because the longevity just was so poor on me. I could not get Black Opium to perform on me, and it just was very frustrating. And so I just went ahead and decluttered it, even though I love the way that it smells. This is kind of like my Black Opium, I think. This is like the Black Opium for me. Again, they don't smell exactly the same. Black Opium has coffee. This doesn't have coffee. They are different. I feel like this one is so much better when it comes to performance. This performs beautifully. This has very good projection, very good sillage, very good lasting power, lasts all day. I got a compliment on this one when I wore it, so it's a compliment getter. It's a sweet, easy white floral. It's an easy reach. I could see how this might be a little too sweet for some people. So if you're not into white florals and you're not into sweet perfumes, then you're going to want to stay clear of this. But if you like Black Opium, I think you'd really like this perfume. I really like this one. I don't know that I'll get a full bottle. I'm going to go through my decant and see how I feel. If I make it through my decant and I decide that I miss this perfume and I really feel like I need to add it into my collection, then I'll get a full bottle, but I'm going to wait and see. All right, up next, I do have 2 fragrances I want to talk about that I received in PR from a new dupe house that I had never heard of before. They reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try a couple of their fragrances and compare them to the originals, and I said sure. Now, just a disclaimer about anything I get in PR. I know that I'm not a big channel. I don't really get a ton of PR all the time, and so I really wanted to like lay down the ground rules about PR for my channel for any of you guys that are new subscribers. So for me, if somebody wants to send me something, that's great, but that does not in any way, shape, or form obligate me to speak about their products on my channel. I am never going to let PR dictate my channel or what I talk about, and it certainly does not obligate me to say good things about them if I do not like the product. So if brands want to send me product, I'm thankful. I don't want to sound like I'm not thankful, because I am thankful, but they do it at their own risk, to be very honest with you, because I will be brutally honest about how I feel about products. And that goes for anything, whether I buy them or whether they're sent to me. Now, obviously, if I agree to work with someone and they sponsor my video, I have agreed to say good things about them, but I promise you that if I work with a company that sends me things and they're sponsoring my video, I will have tried their product first, and I already know I like their product before I agree to work with them in that capacity. Now, this video is not sponsored. They just sent me these perfumes to try, and I told them I'd try them out, and if I liked them, then I would talk about them, and if I didn't, then I wouldn't. I never let the popularity of anything or the hype of anything dictate what I say on my channel. I don't really care if my opinion is popular or unpopular. All I care about is being honest with you guys about how I feel. That's all I can do. All I can do is come to you guys and share with you my honest experience in full transparency. And whether people agree with it or not, whether it's popular or not, I just have to do the best I can, you know what I mean? So that is my little disclaimer about PR. Okay, so this brand, they're a new dupe house, and they're called IMIXX Perfumes. This is how it was sent to me, in this little styrofoam cushion, and the bottle looks like this. It's called IMIXX Perfumes, and they are a dupe house. Cute bottles. So I have the dupe. It's called number 74, Don't Be Shy. This is obviously a dupe for Kilian's Love, Don't Be Shy. And they also sent me this one right here. This is number 14, Miss Coco. And this is a dupe for Coco Mademoiselle. Now, they also come with this little travel spray, or this little like deluxe sample, I guess you would call it. And their idea behind it is that you try out the perfume. You can order it, you can try it out with the sample. If you don't like it, you can send it back and you get a refund. Now, I was hesitant to talk about this brand because they're brand new and I have not heard anyone else really talking about them. And sometimes I get a little nervous about that because it's hard to have all the information about a brand that's brand new, you know? So I will leave their website in the description box, and you can go and you can check them out and you can read up all about them. But basically they claim that they can get 98.3% the same as the fragrances that they are duping, basically. So they're saying that you cannot tell the difference between these fragrances, that they are so close, 98.3%. And I thought that was a big claim. Like, that's a pretty big claim to say that you're going to be that close. And they claim that they have a method based on gas that they use as the mobile phase. I guess it's the original sample of luxury perfume is analyzed by an automatic sampler and further compared with a database of 500,000 raw materials. And they use some sort of gas and molecule science. That's above my scope, you know what I mean? They use a specific science that you can read about on their website if you want to. I won't go too much into it, but basically they say that they can even find out the composition of ancient Egyptian perfumes from 300 BC by this 3-phase process that they use to dupe the fragrance. And I thought, you know, their claim, they have this on their website. This is a very big claim. It says, no nose on earth can tell the difference between the scents of IMIXX and luxury perfumes. So I was a little bit hesitant, you know what I mean? I was a little bit like, wow, that's a pretty big claim. I'm not sure, you know, I'm not sure if I believe that. So I said, yeah, you know what? Go ahead and send me 2 fragrances. I picked the Love Don't Be Shy and the Coco Mademoiselle because I have both of these here to compare them next to. Now, I have never ordered from this brand. I do not know what the ordering process is like. I do believe they are based out of Hong Kong. And so the only thing I will say is please expect shipping to be a little longer than normal. Obviously, they're out of Hong Kong. Like I said, I'll leave their information in the description box. Feel free to check them out. Now, let's get into why I decided to talk about this brand, because I am shocked with how accurate these perfumes are, okay? They're so accurate. I am shocked, you guys, like literally shocked. I had to come and tell you guys about this Dupe House because I don't think I've ever seen a better dupe in my life. So I have here the original Kilian Love Don't Be Shy in a decant from Royalty Scents. I decided to just get a decant because I've told you guys that I don't fully love this fragrance. I do. It's such a weird place to be because I actually do feel like I really enjoy this fragrance quite a lot, almost to the point where I love it, but I don't feel like it's worth the price. It's $245 for a bottle of Love Don't Be Shy, and I just feel like that's too expensive for what you get. The performance just isn't where I want it to be in order to pay that price. I'm so in the mood for this type of fragrance right now. I'm so in the mood for that like marshmallowy, sweet, neroli, orange blossom kind of fragrance, and I just wish this one wasn't so expensive. And I had kind of been toying with the idea of maybe getting a dupe of this because there are dupes everywhere of this fragrance, but every time I try a dupe I'm just like, it's not quite it, you know what I mean? It's just not quite it for me. There's a little bit of a difference and it's just not what I want. But I also don't want to pay $245 for this either. So when IMIXX Labs reached out to me, they let me choose, and one of my choices was the dupe for Love Don't Be Shy. You guys, I can't tell the difference. Not even a little bit. I have tested this thoroughly. I have tested it against Love Don't Be Shy many, many times. I've worn Love Don't Be Shy on one side, on one wrist, and then this on the other. I've gone back and forth, and let me tell you, I tried to find a difference. I really did. I tried to find some sort of difference between these two because I just couldn't believe that they would be so this would be so accurate to the original. And I didn't want to come to you guys and tell you guys that until I absolutely 100% knew for a fact, like it was solid in my heart and mind, that this is spot on. Like spot on. I really searched hard to try to find some difference between these two and I could not find it. I am super impressed. The only thing I will say that is different is the longevity. This lasts better than the original Love Don't Be Shy. And I've been reaching for this one a bunch. I'm so happy to have this in my collection. This is what I wanted. I wanted Love Don't Be Shy, but I didn't want to pay $245, and I'm so happy they sent this to me because I am going to thoroughly enjoy this. It's still not like a beast. It's not like a beast mode perfume, but it does have good performance. It lasts all day. All right, now the other one I got was a dupe for Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. I'm very familiar with Coco Mademoiselle. I have the original Coco Mademoiselle and I have been testing these guys against each other extensively. Now this one I don't think is as close of a dupe as the Love Don't Be Shy. However, it is extremely close. This is a very good dupe. Let's start off with that. This is a very good dupe. However, there's something about Chanel fragrances that I don't know anyone is going to be able to capture. And I know that that sounds so, I hate saying it. I'm almost cringing saying it because it sounds so cliche, like, oh, Chanel fragrance. There's truth to it though. There's something in the DNA of Chanel fragrances that I can't quite put my finger on. It's just the depth of the perfume. You know what I mean? There's like something in their patchouli that does something. It creates a warmth and an intensity that I just can't quite describe. If you're a Chanel lover, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, does this fragrance smell like Coco Mademoiselle? Yes, it does. It smells super, super close. I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone would be able to tell, honestly. If you were to spray this and walk around with it, nobody is going to be like, oh, that's not Coco Mademoiselle. It smells like Coco Mademoiselle for sure. The only difference is the intensity. It's almost like a weaker version of the original Coco Mademoiselle. It's a tiny bit weaker. If I were to do a percentage, I would say this is 95% Coco Mademoiselle. And honestly, once you spray it and you're walking around and people are getting the sillage of it, I seriously doubt anyone could tell the difference. I think the only way that you could tell the difference between these two perfumes is if you were looking for it, if you were testing them side by side. But I did notice when I sprayed this on one arm and this on the other, this one was just a little bit more powerful. This one was a little bit more warmer, I guess you could say. This had a little bit more warmth to it and it was a little bit more powerful, where this one is just a tiny, tiny bit weaker. Still an amazing perfume. Still an amazing performing perfume. When I say weaker, I'm not saying this is a weak perfume, because it's not. This is a very good projecting, long-lasting fragrance. I think they did an excellent job on duping Coco Mademoiselle. Honestly, like I said, you have to be looking for the difference in order to see it. 95% similar, highly recommend. I think it's fantastic. I have never ordered from them before, so I don't know about their customer service, their processing time, or anything like that. I do want to order from them though, because they have a dupe of Tom Ford Lost Cherry, and I have to get it because you guys know I love Tom Ford Lost Cherry, but I don't want to pay the price for it because the performance is terrible. So I got a dupe from Alt, which I love. I think it's fantastic, but I have a feeling that IMIXX Labs dupe is better. I mean, if these two perfumes are any indication of how good their dupes are, I need to try that one. So I will be ordering from the brand, and I will keep you updated on my experience with that. I'll let you know about my experience with ordering, customer service, shipping time, and all of that. All right, you guys, up next, I got a perfume just because I had to have this bottle, which is not the best reason to get a perfume, but this is by Lalique, and this is Soleil. Look at this bottle, you guys. Is that not the most beautiful bottle you've ever seen? It's got these little dangly pieces right here. Oh my gosh, it just looks like the sun to me. Now let's talk about what really matters, and that is the scent inside. And I don't know how I feel about this, you guys, but I think that this was I'm leaning more towards this being a fail for me. I haven't quite made up my mind yet because I want to give this one a little bit more time. This is not at all what I expected. So I thought this was going to be a gourmand. In the opening, you have mandarin orange, bitter almond, and cardamom. But then in the middle, you have pear, milk, candied almonds, you have caramel, coffee, jasmine. The base is praline, white musk, and sandalwood. So I was expecting this coffee, lactonic, praline, sweet candied almond, yummy gourmand. That is not what I got. And I guess I should have paid attention more to the opening, because you have the mandarin orange, bitter almond, and cardamom at the top. And I will say the cardamom is very prominent to my nose, and I don't know how I feel about cardamom. I don't think I'm the biggest fan. And normally I love orange. I absolutely love orange, but the mandarin orange in here mixed with the cardamom kind of reminds me of orange juice, but not like a sweet orange juice. Yeah, and I think the bitter almond in here too, it's kind of taking away from the sweetness in the opening. It's not as sweet and juicy as I wanted it to be. I'm getting a little bit of orange, but then it's kind of overshadowed by bitter almond and cardamom. It's not sweet enough in the opening. I think that's what bothers me. I don't know, you guys. I can't figure out how I feel about this fragrance. I wore it yesterday, and the whole time I was just kind of like, I don't know. It feels like it's missing something. It feels like I need to sweeten it up a little bit. You know what I mean? It just never gets to a truly sweet place for me. or a sweet enough place for me. But I would say if you're someone who doesn't like sweet perfumes and you want something that's very cardamom heavy, if you're a big fan of cardamom, you might like this. The base has white musk and sandalwood, and I really do get a lot of that sandalwood in the base. So if you're a fan of cardamom and sandalwood and you don't want something that's overly sweet, this might be for you. The bottle is gorgeous. I'm not ready to declutter this yet. I need to test this out some more. I need to wear this some more and get my final thoughts on it. I'm a little disappointed though, because it's just not the yummy, sweet, delicious gourmand I thought it was going to be at all. I think this is so unique and so unexpected that I really need to give this a few more wears before I make my final decision. This is on the chopping block though. Yeah, as of right now, I'm not super in love with it, but let me test it out some more and I will keep you guys posted. All right, up next, I have two fragrances by Kayali. One of them was absolutely not for me, and I already know I don't like it, and I'm going to declutter it. And the other one was a wild success. So let's start off with the one that I did not like. This is Elixir 11. I got the travel size because I love that you can do that. I love that Kayali offers the travel size so you can kind of test it out first before you commit to a full bottle. Listen, I want so badly to love this scent profile, you guys, and I keep trying. But I just don't, and I have to stop. I have to just admit that I don't love this scent profile and move on. So this is an extremely rose and patchouli heavy fragrance. And the patchouli that's in here, normally I love patchouli, but the patchouli that's in here is a very earthy patchouli to me. It's like a woody and earthy patchouli. And it reminds me way too much of oud. I mean, to me, I actually thought oud was in here. When I first smelled this, I was like, oh, this is an oud fragrance. But I looked at the notes, there's no oud in here. It's like a true to rose fragrance. Like if you were to actually go up to a rose and smell it, that's what you're getting. It's not a sweet rose, it's not a jammy rose. And I actually prefer I like sweet perfumes, you guys. I prefer my perfumes to be a little sweeter. This doesn't have a whole lot of sweetness to it. This is just rose, patchouli. There's also apple in here, but I don't pick up on the apple. I pick up on rose, patchouli, woody, and very earthy to me. And I'm not a big fan of earthy fragrances. This just is not my scent profile. Now, as far as the performance of this, I have no issues. To my dismay, this actually performed really well, and I actually had to wash it off. I wore it, I was walking around, and I was like, oh, I don't like this. This is not for me. But I was getting wafts of it everywhere I turned, and I was like, well, it definitely performs well. I'm definitely not having issues there. So it lasted a long time. Great sillage. I think it's a good perfume. If this is your scent profile, I think you'd like it. If you like non-sweet rose, earthy patchouli types of fragrances, then yeah, I think that you'd love it. Performance is great, just not for me. All right, and last but certainly not least, we have by Kayali Déjà Vu White Flower 57. Now this fragrance, I don't know what took me so long to try this, but I am madly in love with this. And I actually heard Paulina Schar, she talks about this one a lot. She raves about it, and I remember putting it on my list of things I wanted to try because I'm a huge white floral fan, but for some reason it just kept getting pushed off and pushed off. I didn't really hear a whole lot of other people talking about it. And finally I was like, you know what, I just need to try it. And I am so glad I did because I am just in love. I think this is such a beautiful white floral fragrance, you guys. If you like sweet, fruity white florals with a touch of like creamy vanilla base, oh my gosh, it has a little bit of patchouli in it as well, which you really can't smell the patchouli though. This is not an earthy patchouli. This isn't one of those patchoulis that I don't like. This is like the patchouli that just gives a fragrance depth and warms the fragrance up, and that's it. You've got nectarine and pear in the opening of this, and then you have these gorgeous white florals. You have gardenia, tuberose, jasmine, orange blossom, all the beautiful white flowers that I just absolutely love. But this is not an overly heady white floral fragrance. The nectarine and the pear, the fruity sweet notes in the opening really balances out the white florals in the middle. It's such a beautiful modern take on white florals. This is full bottle worthy 100%. 100%. Now, as far as the performance of this perfume, I would say this is along the same lines as Vanilla 28 for me. I consider this a moderate performing perfume. It's not a beast. It's not probably going to last you all day. I get about 5 hours out of this fragrance, which is about what I get with Vanilla 28, and I get a moderate projection. I find it to be beautiful for spring. I am head over heels in love, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the description box if you have tried any of these fragrances and if you like them or don't like them, what your thoughts are. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I hope everybody's having an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!